Hello and welcome to Ashley's Heart Song. I am so happy that you are here with me today. This is the place where we release the stress and get back into our body, our life, and our business. When you tap into the song of your heart, you master the mind and the stress that steals your life. This is the Three Brains approach to restoration, to increased energy, health, and vitality throughout the body, the soul, and the spirit. And I am so happy that you are here today because we are going to speak to the joy metabolizer. And the one thing that can really help create more joy in your life is something very, very simple. However, we typically don't think much about this. This one action in your day can turn your joy just have it sing to the heights. So we are going to be speaking to that in just a moment, but I want to open this up with this inspirational quote that kind of helps describe what this show is going to be about. And it's our character is basically a composite of our habits, our routines, because they are consistent, often unconscious patterns that constantly and daily express our character. That is a quote by Stephen Covey. So yes, we are speaking to routines and habits that build and create our character and how we show up in our day and how our life unfolds and plays out before us. And yes, routines and habits, ones that bring health and energy and vitality into your very body, are routines and habits that create more joy in your life. So we will get to that, but right now I want to do a vitality update, right? What is the score for you this week? On a scale of 1 to 10, let's go through the 4 aspects of ourself and let's add these scores up. Remember, your high score is a score of 40 because we have 4 categories and each one has a high score of 10. In the physical body this week, today, presently, what is your score? What is your vitality score for your body? Does your physical body feel like it has all the energy it needs? Does it feel strong today, mobile, flexible? Are you in motion? On a scale of 1 to 10, rate how you are today in your physical body. 10 being you feel awesome physically. You are doing so beautifully on your movement routines and your body's in flow. Or a 1 where you are stiff, sore, tired, achy, hurting, that would be close to a 1. Write it down. All right, emotional body. What is the level of your emotional health today on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being that that you are balanced. You feel well, right? Energy with your emotions. You're balanced, you're in harmony. Or are you feeling below a 5 where you are moody, cranky, and it's just not a good day for your emotions? Where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? Write down your number. The mental body, mentally, where are you with your mindset today? Is your mind just rocking? Are you spot on with your points that you want to make? Are you clear? Are you speaking clearly? Where are you mentally today on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being you feel clear as a bell. 1 being you're a little foggy thinking and you are just offline all day. All right, write that number down. And then we have your spiritual body. Spiritually, where are you today? Where are you spiritually? Are you connected? Are you in alignment? Are you inspired today? That would be a 10. Anything above from 5 to 10. If you are disconnected today, if you're feeling moody and withdrawn, then you could be very disconnected spiritually today and feeling out of balance. And that would be anywhere from a 1 to a 5 on that score. So put down your spiritual score, add them up. The closer you are to 40, you are knocking it out of the park. If your score is below a 20, then by looking at those numbers, some areas where you can do some work. And by watching this show, Ashley's Heart Song, you will get a lot of great ideas of what to do to elevate each one of those scores. But today we're going to be talking about how our vitality is stolen from the lack of routines. So when we look at our energy score, when you look at that score today, and let's say you were scoring below a 20 or maybe even below a 25, when you look at that score, can you connect that with how routine your life ran? So we have positive routines, routines that build and give us life, and we have routines that steal our life. So when you look at your score and you're looking at the routines that you put in play for today, are they routines that stole your life? Meaning, this can work two different ways. One is you have wellness routines in place, routines that bring you energy and vitality. However, today you decided to sleep late and skipped them, and you just jumped right into your day. And you've noticed that your energy is draining from you. Maybe you're a little moody because you didn't get that quiet time, right? So if you skipped your morning routines, then that is one way that the old pattern, the pattern that has been in motion for a long time, that was before you put those healthy routines in place, it was the pattern before that. Sometimes it likes to swoop in, especially if the subconscious mind senses that, oh, I've done this before. I know what to do. I know what to produce for you. I know how to make you feel, and it will shoot off all the chemistry that will be in alignment with the old pattern, which would have been sleeping in as late as possible and then getting up at the last minute and getting your day rolling with chaos and disorganization. That's one way. Or another is that those healthy routines have not been in place and you are running off of the old patterns constantly, and they are wearing you out. Do you ever feel that way? That these patterns that we bring in from, maybe you had an experience in your 20s and you loved doing things a certain way that was staying up late, sleeping late, eating late at night. Those are routines and those are habits that are put in place that as we get older, especially, they begin to take a toll on the health and vitality of our body. And maybe you have a pattern that you've been living with for a long time that you're realizing is stealing your life. When our life is being stolen by routines and habits that are on the side of unhealthy, then you will feel the joy leak out of your life. We feel joy when we feel really good. When we feel when we are doing things that restore the health and vitality of our body, we feel joy so much easier. We can find joy in all experiences in our life when we feel good. So if we're on the moodiness and the cranky and the chaos, then joy has a hard time coming in the door and us feeling it and experiencing it. So do you have a life filled with routines that steal your life, steal your vitality, and they're stealing your health? Or do you have habits and routines that are giving you life, restoring your health? So at the end of the show, I'm going to give you some areas in which you can create some routines that are life-giving, that are a jolt for your health and vitality. But right now, we want to take that really close look at what habits and routines are in your life that created your day today. Take a look at those. Look at your life of what has transpired from the time that you woke up this morning until now. What did those habits and routines produce for you today? And we do that by checking into how we feel in our bodies. So we did the vitality score when we first got on. And that vitality score tells us how on point with our habits and our routines that we are. So we can see that, okay, my vitality score was below a 20. What routines and habits were in place today, earlier today, that led up to me scoring that? It may have been the habit of sleeping in. It could have been the habit of hand getting stuck in the cookie jar. It could have been maybe you decided for breakfast you were going to do donuts instead of the normal eggs and dates that you do. Maybe you decided to just have a pajama day, which pajama days are great, but there are sometimes when a pajama day weighs heavy on the mind and pulls you down. Why? Because getting ready in the mornings for our day helps us step forward in our day with what they used to call our best foot forward. It helps us to step with our best foot forward in the day to create that life and live a life that we really like. And when we have too many pajama days, we begin to feel the weight of those pajamas. We begin to feel the weight of not getting up and putting on our makeup or doing our hair, not paying attention to our nails and filing them when they need to be filed. Or maybe you're not paying attention to any grooming that is done on the face, on the legs, anywhere at all. And maybe you've let that grooming go and you find that, wow, I really am starting to feel heavy. Sometimes feeling that joy, feeling that spark is all about us just tuning in and taking care of ourselves. And when we look at the habits and the routines that we have in place right now, those habits and routines will reflect how much joy you feel in your life. Because if you've had 10 pajama days in a row, then you may not be feeling much joy. Maybe, maybe not. I guess it probably depends on how glamorous those pajamas are. If it's the Doris Day pajamas, where it's that beautiful satin robe that connects at the waist, y'all know what I mean? And then it's just open, and she has on those cute little pajama pants and those slippers, and I mean, so glamorous. Yes. If we have glamour jams like that, then I say your joy is probably off the charts. I love Doris Day pajamas. She is always so adorable in her movies. And so if it's like that, then no, of course not. But I'm talking about, those days when some people call them sweats days, or the days when we just don't do the grooming. And I'm not saying we have to groom every day, but we do need to do something to help us wake up and feel really good, to feel the joy. Because when we feel joy, that is one of those sacred metabolizers, excuse me. Joy is one of those beautiful sacred metabolizers. It elevates the soul. It puts a smile on the face, lightness to the being, lights up your face. Joy elevates your metabolism, has you mobilizing more fat at rest than if you weren't feeling joy. When you feel joy, you're the biological equivalent of that vibrational frequency that joy gives off. So all of the sacred metabolizers give off this elevated rhythm frequency that is more magnetic than, let's say, the opposite of whatever that sacred metabolizer is. So for joy, the opposite of joy is sadness or depression. And those aren't very magnetic in the world. But when you walk in a room with joy lighting your heart and your face, you better believe that people are going to be feeling that, coming up to you and wanting some of what you got. But when we walk into a room and we're feeling the opposite of joy, we're feeling depression or sadness, what happens? People steer clear of you. They won't come near you. They won't come up to talk to you. Why? Because whether they realize it or not, they feel that. The joy is the magnet that brings them to you. The depression and the sadness is the repellent. Our routines that we have in our day, day in and day out, are reflective of our state of being. So if you have those habits that fill you with energy and vitality, the habits that just have your health soaring, then you're going to be having more joy. You're going to be having more peace as well. And you'll be creating a life that you really love. But if you wake up and those routines that you set into place are stealing your life, stealing your joy, stealing your happiness, then the life that those routines create is going to be one that you don't enjoy. So, what are routines that create health and vitality? Well, eating and meal planning. That is the basis, right, of our day to day in and out living is we must eat. And the way we eat, how we show up when we eat, and the meal planning itself play a key role. Those are two routines that I highly recommend you get into play. And yes, they are two different routines. The meal planning, you are planning ahead what you're going to be eating for that day, for the next 3 days, for the week. You meal plan and you get it all set in motion to where all of your food choices are in alignment with what you want to create for your life, the health and vitality that you want to create for your life. So you plan ahead, you grocery shop, you shop the you so that you get only the healthy, nourishing, live foods. Then on the eating, with the eating, you eat slow and with awareness, and you always eat with a smile on your face. When you go to eat, if you have a frown, consternation, a little bit of low rhythm, irritation, or frustration with your day, then you've just shut down the gut brain. And that will impact your health exponentially in a not good way. It will be very negative way. But if when you eat, if you smile, then that brings joy to your heart. It lifts your spirits. Your gut brain is awake and goes, all right, yay, I'm ready for food. Then we can eat for nourishment and satisfaction. So the health and the routines that you create around eating and meal planning is of paramount importance. Also, one other thing on the eating, do not stand up and eat. You must always sit down and eat, and when you eat, only eat. That is a healthy routine to put in motion today. When you eat, only eat. Don't eat while you're looking at your phone and scrolling through your phone or reading emails on your computer. Don't do that. Your gut brain will sleep the whole time and won't recognize whenever you got food coming in. And then you got a bellyache, slow digestion, bloating, all the yuckiness that comes with that. And you just don't feel good. It steals your joy. So eating and meal planning, huge. All right, then on movement. Well, with movement, we want to move our bodies every single day. How do we do that? Let's say you've got a really packed full schedule and working out has always been a challenge for you. This is a routine that when you put this routine in play, you are going to notice your energy tank is going to be full all the time. Because when we move, we generate those feel-good hormones. Those feel-good hormones create energy within us. Movement also helps us to have clarity of thinking, increase levels of serotonin, which is one of those feel-good hormones, increase levels of serotonin, which help us to feel better. The joy, that joy, you're going to find joy. Get in motion every single day, whether you are doing 1-minute movement starters, is what I call them. In my book, Join Me in the End Zone, you can, in the very back of the book, is a toolbox section. And in that toolbox section, it will list 1 minute movement starters. I have different beginner, intermediate, and advanced level routines in there, core routines, back maintenance routines. But one of them is the 1 minute movement starters. So it lists all these exercises that you can do for a minute. So if you have 1 minute breaks and do these 1 minute movement starters, I don't know, 10, 15 times during your day, maybe even just 5 times during your day, then you're going to have your activity that you needed and you'll have it. And you will have that joy. You will have the feel good feeling of the mind. You will have created a routine that brings life to you. Yes, movement is important. Also, with movement, it increases our oxygen levels, and increased oxygen levels helps us mobilize more fat. That's a good thing. The other section that I want to bring your attention to when we're creating healthy routines is stillness and meditation. These bring the body to what we call the relax and digest mode, rest and digest mode. It's the parasympathetic state of operation. When we're in that state of being, that stillness creates, that meditation creates, then we will have more joy in our life. Why? Well, during that time, you are deep breathing. You've got your belly pump going. So you're bringing in more oxygen. So you're mobilizing fat. Yes. You are also bringing more oxygen to the mind, which brings clarity of thinking. That deep breathing exercises the lungs and the respiratory system. So you're becoming stronger, healthier, more vibrant. The gut brain is at ease. It's not stressed out. So it does help increase the assimilation and digestive processes. Stillness and meditation connect you to a higher source. When you are connected to a higher source, to God, that is when you have built in that highway of parasympathetic state of operation. Because when you're connected, everything always works out. When you know and believe that everything is always going to work out, then you have joy in your heart and joy in your life. Bring in stillness or meditation into your life as many times a week as you can, every day if possible. There are different systems that you can use for that. There's so much out there. You could do yoga or qigong to help bring that into play. You could also just go out and sit on your porch and rock in a chair and do the stillness time and let it deepen into a meditation. But those three areas will help build up the health, energy, and vitality of your physical body and the soul, the mind, the heart, and the emotions. You will feel more in balance and more in harmony and joy when you attend to these three areas in which to build a routine: the eating and meal planning, the movement, and the stillness and meditation. And yes, there is a lot more that goes on and into creating health and vitality, so much more. And if you continue listening in to Ashley's Heart Song, you're going to be getting information on every single bit of that for sure. We cover everything here when it comes to the physical body, the soul, which makes up the mind, the heart, and the emotional center. That's that earthly aspect of you that is ever evolving while you're here on planet Earth. And then the spirit of you that is always connected and has an incredible mission to do while here on Earth. And so when you partner those three together, get them in alignment with physicality, with nourishment, soulfully, spiritually, when it's all in alignment, that is when you will truly live in a state of joy and in a body that you absolutely love. So tap into some routines this week. Experiment. If you're noticing that a routine for you isn't working, that it's dragging you down, and you find that you're not doing it, you just keep putting it off, it's because it's not a good fit. So create a routine or find a routine that does fit, that does feel good. So, how do we do that? When you're first starting to create healthy routines, you want to keep them short, sweet, and simple. Short, sweet, and simple. Start with 5 minutes, whether it is 5 minutes of stillness and meditation, 5 minutes of movement, 5 minutes of deep breathing, 5 minutes of yoga, qigong, whatever it is. Start with 5 minutes of a routine that is going to build health and vitality. Keep it a very simple routine and keep it very sweet, something that you love, that digestibility wise, it goes down really good and you want to repeat it over and over and over again. That's how we recreate. That's how we create healthy routines, is we've got to have some kind of reward from doing it. That reward is the sweetness of it. Does it make you feel like you want to keep doing it? Do you go, oh my gosh, I felt so good after that. I've got to do it again and I need to do it longer. That's the kind of routine you want to create, is one that you want to keep going back to, because that's how you build more joy into your life. Because when you are settled within, when you feel good within, you can't help but radiate joy. You can't help it. It's just natural. It's just the way we're built. It's the way we operate. So keep your routines to start with short, sweet, and simple. I hope this has blessed you today, because sometimes we can put a routine in our life because we've been told this is really good. If you do this routine just like this, and it takes, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. And so you go and implement it. And then after 2 to 3 days, you find, oh, you're putting it off and you're not doing it. You're not doing it. It's because it's not bringing you joy. Find a way to make that routine joyful. One that afterwards you go, yes, I'm so glad I did that. It was great. It was great. I feel good. That's what you want to get out of your routines. If you find yourself skipping them, then that means it's not a routine that's for you. Change it up. Short, sweet, simple. And you will find that you will be living a life of joy for sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me today for Ashley's Heart Song. This is on the Win Win Women TV network. You will also find it on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And I am here every Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day.